welcome to Films on Trial Film Reviews. I'm Gav, and this week I'll be reviewing the 2018 film Green Book. And just to warn you, this review may contain spoilers, so if you haven't seen the film yet and you want to avoid them, why not check this out at a later date? Green Book is a biographical comedy drama which tells the story of a 1962 musical tour of the deep south of America by African-American classical jazz pianist Don Shirley and his Italian-American driver bodyguard Tony Vallelonga. It was written and directed by Peter Farrelly and stars Viggo Mortensen as Tony and Mahershala Ali as Don. The performances in this film were of a really high quality, and the two men's friendship was incredibly believable. Viggo Mortensen quite rightly earns his third Oscar nomination for an actor in a leading role. You can tell the amount of effort he has put into his performance by not only physically changing for the role, but the detail in his mannerisms and dialect. He is almost unrecognisable in this and a million miles from the imposing and dreamy Aragon. Anyway, Mahershala Ali follows up his Oscar-winning turn in Moonlight by delivering another powerful performance as musician Don Shirley. He delivers a commanding yet restrained performance for most of the film, but really packs an emotional punch when the time comes. He is rightly being recognised as one of the best actors working today, and I would be very surprised if he walked away from this without his second Oscar win. Linda Cardellini also delivers a very genuine and touching performance as Tony's wife Dolores, and the rest of the Vallelonga clan also deliver very natural performances. At no point did I question whether this was a real family or not, and I was surprised to hear afterwards that a large percentage of them are the actual real-life relatives of the real Tony Lip. The direction is really well done, and there are some really nicely framed and composed scenes, particularly the boiling point scene, in which Tony and Don argue in the rain. I couldn't believe while I was watching this that this was from one of the directors who gave us the classic sperm gel scene from There's Something About Mary, or the laxative bathroom scene from Dumb and Dumber, and, let's be frank, the awful Stuck on You. The director's comedy roots shine through quite often here, as there are some truly funny and genuine moments in this film, as the relationship between both men grows over the course of the film. I like the story, and I think it was very well delivered, but I feel there are too many films about a black man's life told from a white man's perspective. And going into this film, I questioned how or if it would stand out from those other films. I feel that there was an interesting point about Tony considering himself as more mistreated than Don due to their polarising social standings. And this was countered quite well by Don to say that he had worked to get to where he was, and that even with his money, education and position, not only is he not considered equal by white people, but he is not considered black enough by African Americans. There was a really interesting idea about class, race and identity, which I don't think was explored to its fullest extent, as the film seemed to move swiftly on. Also, there were questions about Tony's prejudices at the beginning of the movie, and they didn't really get addressed either. He puts glasses in the bin after they've been touched by black maintenance men, and he removes his wallet from the car when Don is left alone. His prejudices seem to dissolve as the film goes on, as he naturally becomes more tolerant to race and sexuality, but his journey, it seems a bit rushed and undefined. However, there are many more positives to this film. The cinematography and the costumes are especially good, which help capture the time and the setting as well. Also, the music is fantastic, whether that be the rock and roll classics that Tony tries to educate Don with in the car, to Don's rousing jazz, to the mesmerising Chopin performance at the bar. Chris Bowers not only did a brilliant job composing standout pieces for the film, but he did an unbelievable job as Ali's hand double, playing some of the most difficult pieces to perform on a piano. It's some of the finest hand doubling since The Thing in the Addams Family. So in conclusion, the story of this friendship may have been something you've seen before, but it is the way that it's delivered and the performances that accompany it that make it such a great watch. So I'll give this film 4 chocolate frogs out of 5. What do you think? Did you agree with the review? Let us know in the comments section below, and don't forget to like, share and subscribe. You can listen to Films on Trial on any podcasting platform, and why not check us out on Twitter @FilmTrials. And now for a bit of trivia. Viggo Mortensen really did eat the hot dogs in the Gorman's hot dog eating challenge scene. Although he didn't manage to get as many as the scene describes, he did manage to gobble a whopping 15 hot dogs. Wow. Until next time, bye!